Right here to KSHP 107.1 FM, we have Miss Arkansas. Miss Arkansas is a comedian. I've had the pleasure to work with her in a couple of places. Miss Arkansas, where you at? Are we on the line?
I am actually in Arkansas.
You are actually in Arkansas right now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. Well, I just got to tell you, the next time you're in Vegas, I'm the new resident MC, comedian, host of Motown Extreme. It's a Monday show on Las Vegas Boulevard, 4:30 to 6:30. So the next time you're in Vegas, let me know. We'll put you up on stage in Motown Extreme, laughs and lyrics. How is the comedy world out there in Arkansas?
Well, everybody trying to stay above the water. It's like a lot of time you have to create your own stuff.
Right.
Like, so I have to make my own shows and produce them and all that good stuff. But I praise be unto God. Every time I do it, it sells out. So that's a good thing,
There you go. You got your following. You got your fans. That's all it is. It's just building blocks. Every time you perform, you gather more and more and more followers, more fans, and before you know it, you got a packed house. You got a packed house.
Right.
How many years you been doing comedy now?
Lord, it's been over 30. I'd say probably like 34 now.
Wow. Okay. And what's it like out there in Arkansas? Do they let you just get on the mic and go free, or do they have a lot of rules like you can't say this and you can't say that?
No, you can pretty much do you. But me personally, I've been doing it so long, I know what to say, when to say, how to say,
Yes, you just assess your
audience. They don't have a problem. Right, they don't have a problem with taking the mic because they know I'm not going to just get up there and say anything. But, if they know someone that got a foul mouth, they'll make sure they let them know what they can say and can't say.
Yeah, right. So how was your 4th of July last night? Was there a lot of fireworks in the air?
Well, some of the people were shooting stuff. I don't know if it was a firework.
You don't know if it was guns or fireworks, right?
Right, it was so loud. Oh my God! But I'm just glad that's over.
Right. That is true, man. Sometimes you can't tell the difference, and then you get a shock and a surprise when it's all over, and see a couple of cop cars. You're like, oh, that wasn't fireworks.
But it's always a good time with my family,
Of course. So what's the weather like out there? I know there's some floods up in Texas. What's going on out there?
Well, I won't say nothing about it right now because it might happen. But here in Arkansas, we deal with a lot of rain and tornadoes.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I've never been to Arkansas.
Look, I didn't want to call their name because they might come.
I've traveled all around the world, but I've never been to Arkansas. I've never performed there.
You got to come to Arkansas.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I used to get in arguments with my teacher when I was a kid because, the way it's spelled, Arkansas. And I little, you break it down, hooked on phonics. So I was always like, Arkansas. This and that in Arkansas. The teacher's like, no, Arkansas. I'm like, well, wait a minute. You told us to break it down and sound it out. I don't see Arkansaw, Arkansas. I see SAS, Arkansas. So what is the proper way to say it?
Arkansas.
No shit, but yet it's SAS. Arkansas.
I know it. I would have thought it would have had an SAW.
I know. I went rounds and rounds. I think I actually got dismissed from the classroom over that. Because I was just like, I just like things to make sense. And I'm like, okay, you've been telling us to break it down, sound it out. It clearly looks like Arkansas. And now you're telling me to say it like it's an SAW. So things are not always as they appear.
That's just like Las Vegas. I would have thought that was LOS. But Los Angeles got the LOS, and you guys had the LAS.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I never even thought about it. Yeah, because really it would look like Las Vegas, right? or Vegas, or Vegas. Las Vegas. I guess there's a few people hanging out at the bus stop that got Las Vegas. Eating too much Taco Bell. No, I never thought about that one. You just opened my eyes. Yeah, it's true, because Los Angeles is LOS. But then Las Vegas is LAS. That is very, very true.
Right.
Very true. Of course, we just call Las Vegas.
When they were creating all this stuff, I don't know what they was on. Maybe they had their children to decide.
Right. So what's your story? What got you into comedy?
Well, do you have time for it? No, I'm joking. Actually, I'm from a family of 10. My mother had 6 children. 6 girls and 4 boys, and I'm number 6.
Wow.
Growing up, I got in, first I didn't just start off in trouble. I was a good kid, did the norm, sneaking out, doing this, doing that. And when I got older, I had ended up getting in some trouble. And I tell you, like I tell everyone else I do interviews with, TV, post office, I don't care where I am, and God say share, I share. But over 30 years ago, I got in some trouble, and a life was actually taken. And as I speak to you right now, I don't even know if the bullet from the gun I had took that young lady's life. They told me that my statement got me locked up because I said I shot one time, and that's been bothering me over these 30 years, not knowing. And I did have the decency to ask her mom and her children to forgive me if it was me. And they say they do, and I had to ask God to forgive me if I did it. And then I finally learned to forgive myself, because one of her children said, Miss Rose, free yourself. So that was like oh my God, something for me to move on. But it still bothered me not knowing, because there was some more shooting going on after the club that night. And I would really like to know, you know what I'm saying? Not just having this burden on me, not knowing if it was or not. But anyway, I ended up going to prison. I did 3 years in prison, 11 months in the county before going. And when I got out, instead of being one of the worst criminals, I chose to be one of the best comedians, because I was getting so many no's. You know what I'm saying? No. With the help of the good Lord, I had to make a yes for myself.
Right. So you turned to comedy to get you through those hard times?
Yes. I done had a couple of little jobs, but when I tell them the truth, or tell them about the past or whatever, they end up letting you go. So it don't make no sense of going through all that if you got a lie on the application,
Exactly.
So I'd rather just do like the police and firemen. I'm on call. When someone calls me with a budget and a booking, I go to work.
There you go. That's keeping it real. So can I ask you, when you were doing your time, did they ever, because I know some of the prisons will have comedy. They'll have in-yard comedy, and they'll do comedy from the prisons. Did they ever offer anything like that when you were locked up?
Well, when I was in prison, I didn't have time to be telling no jokes. I had to make them think I was a gangster.
Yeah, right, survival of the fittest. Well, that's
but I did start singing in the choir, and I kept my class A, and that allowed me to go outside the prison to other places with Miss Shirley Danner. She was like the mother of the prison, and she took us places to sing and, just pretty much keep us out of trouble while in trouble.
Right. And do you mind if I ask you how old you were when that happened? How old were you when you got locked up?
Oh my God, I was like 20, let me see. No, I was 20-something, you know what I'm saying? I try not to go that far back.
Okay,
all right. About what's going on today back then, but I don't have a problem with sharing. I know I was young,
Yeah.
And not only was I young, my parents didn't have that kind of money to get a lawyer for this situation.
So I'm going to imagine you did your time in Arkansas, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and you know, Bambino, I always say when I get blessed with some money, I want to go back to the prison, not to do time, but to do a live taping, because Monique did it. She said, I could have been your cellmate, but mine's going to be, I was your cellmate.
oh, there you go. There you go. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I watched that one.
I want to go back and not only send it, but share my testimony with those that still doing time. Because I went to an event months ago, and they brought the prodigal daughters there. There's some young ladies that sing in the prison. And I've been out over 30 years, and those young ladies are still in their prison. I don't feel they should hold nobody that long, you know, because at the end of the day, God is the one got to judge everybody. And you going to get judged, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And you going to get your punishment. You either going to get a reward or a punishment.
That's right.
So I don't feel people should be kept in captivity that long. That's my opinion.
You have any advice?
And some of them saying the same thing I'm saying. Don't even know if they did it.
So do you have any advice?
A lot of take the test or nothing. Excuse me?
Do you have any advice for the young kids today? Like the ones that are hanging out, you know, and they're just slinging and doing their thing at the parties on Friday night. Do you have any advice for the young kids as to not end up in the shoes that you were in?
Well, I would just say and let them know that it's so easy getting in trouble, but as hard as getting out. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
yeah, because once you
parents, you know, if your parents doing right by you, listen to them. But if they ain't doing right, don't worry about them. But it's always somebody God gonna have to tell you right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? Even if don't nobody tell you, he say try the spirit by the spirit. So your spirit gonna let you know if you going the right way or the wrong way. But it's up to you to pay attention.
That's right. That's why I think comedy is very healing. I'm 59 and I've been doing comedy off and on all my life since I was a teenager in school. And the thing about it was always my personal therapy. I used comedy to get me through whatever was making me mad, and I soon quickly realized it was better that I just sarcastically made some jokes and got everybody laughing rather than ball up my fist. So
and that's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I was showing my grandson. He sings where he raps. And, you know, sometimes people upset him. And I was explaining to him the other day, do like grandma. When someone upset me, I write a joke about them. I just don't say their name.
Yes.
So if somebody upsetting you, put them in your music. Just don't say their name. They don't know who you're talking about.
That's right. And if they do, then they need to clean up their act.
On your heart. Right.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I love about comedy. It's a real healing therapy for anybody. You know, if you learn to laugh at yourself, and if you learn to joke about what bothers you, it's way better than going out and catching a case. So
you're right.
Yeah, way better because, like you just said, you know, in a blink of an eye, you can do something that gets you locked up, and then it takes a long, long, long time to erase that and to erase the hurt that went with it and to get people to trust you. So it's better to just take a breath and say something funny. Say something silly.
You're right. And you know, I said this too, over a year ago. I had, well, it was before over a year ago, I did my own paperwork concerning a pardon. Because they said I can't get an expungement, I have to get a pardon. So I did the paperwork, I sent it to the prison and everything. Those people gave me favor, you know, Maverick or whatever you call it. And they said they agree with everything I was saying, so they approved it. So I had to send it to the governor. She sent me a paper back a year later saying I was denied and try back in 5 years. And when I tell you I cried like I had lost everyone I ever met, and I had to get in a quiet place and talk with God. And I was asking him, how did this happen and why did this happen? And you bigger than this and you bigger than that. And quiet as just like I'm talking to you, I heard God say to me, be still and know that I am God. And I was like, wow. And he said that he had pardoned me when I was in my mom's womb, that I didn't need no pardon from them people. He started reminding me of all the places he had taken me, the Apollo, and allowed me to do comedy on Southwest Airlines above the clouds, and this place and that place. He was bringing all that stuff to my remembrance. He was bringing back to me how the doctor said I had cancer. 2 times they tried to say it, and I didn't have it. And now he has blessed me with 11 beautiful grandchildren, and now 1 great-grand. He was just bringing everything to my remembrance, letting me know I didn't need that governor. I need him.
That's right. That's right. You know, one thing I always tell people, you know, because I used to do this thing called Streetwise Alive, and it was to, you know, teach the kids, all the gangbangers, you know, to just flip the script. You know, when you're pissed off and you're frowning, you know, turn the frown upside down and then you smile. And I used to teach them how to write their feelings so they could do monologues or, like you said, rap songs or anything. But I would always tell them, look, if you got God in your life and you got faith, just remember this, as long as you got faith and you're praying and you try and stay in his lane, there's always a knockdown and never a knockout. And that's the part that everybody has to remember.
I need to hear that too.
Always a knockdown, never a knockout. So I'm glad our paths crossed. I'm glad I met you last month, and I do look forward to you coming out to Vegas and joining us in our comedy set down here. So when you do come out to Vegas again, give me a call. And I produce a couple of shows here in town. I have every week the Chill Bar and Grill, the Italian Chill Bar and Grill. So anytime you come to town, just let me know. We'll put you on stage, let you shine like the star you are. And one of these days we'll set up a backstory interview with you. I like to talk to you off of line, and then we'll set up a backstory interview where maybe you can counsel some of these kids that are maybe a day away from doing something that would change their life. Just like you said.
Wow, I would love to do that.
That would be wonderful. That'd be positivity. And speaking of, I just had Johnny Giovanni really walk in the house. Johnny, how you doing today? So I'm on the line with the comedian, Miss Arkansas, and she was sharing some truths, Johnny, that I think even you can relate to. In her younger days, she had gotten involved with some friends and some activities that a few shots were fired, and she ended up in prison. She's a successful comedian today, but she was reflecting on her life, how just one moment in time, you know, one bullet changed her whole life. And Johnny Giovanni, Arkansas, I wish you could meet him in the flesh, but this is legendary Johnny Giovanni Woolley. Everybody talks about Vegas when the mob ran Vegas. Well, Johnny's been running things in Vegas since '66, but he had his time, and he went through what you did. She was just talking about how when she tries to get a job, and then that comes up that she did time, and then nobody wants to give her a chance.
No.
Yeah, so she had to build her own job, you know, by doing comedy and just joking about the things she went through. But Johnny, tell her who you are and how much time you did. This is Johnny Giovanni. You'll never talk to a more honest, wise guy in your life. Johnny, say hi to Arkansas.
Hello, honey. How are you?
Arkansas. Miss Arkansas.
Hello.
Hello, sweetie. How are you? Yeah, I did time too, but I was fortunate enough because when I came out here, it was tough. It wasn't that tough because the different people were here. There was no corporations at the time, so therefore having a record wasn't no big deal back then. But I got fortunate enough that I had some great jobs, and I went back east and I hired an attorney, and I went up in front of the pardon board, and I got my whole record expunged. I got a governor's pardon. And so
she was just talking about that.
I got a governor's pardon, and the best part about it, the guy who was sitting on the pardons board was a guard at the prison that I was in. So when I went in here, he gave me a heads up like he was going to do the right thing. and I got the part, and when I came back to Las Vegas, when they sent me the paperwork in the mail, I went down to Metro, I showed them it, they took it out, they took out my, so right now, I don't even have a traffic ticket.
That's beautiful.
Wow, thank God.
That's beautiful.
Mr. Johnny, a quick question. Was you just here in Sherwood, Arkansas?
No, I was never there, honey. I ain't going there either because they'll hang my ass.
I don't think too many Italians have seen Arkansas.
I don't even know where it's at on the map.
The reason I asked, we had, okay, I got you mixed up with the guy that was part of the mob. They had,
Yeah, no.
Godfather. They the movie Godfather.
Oh, yeah,
He was here.
Yeah, Johnny's.
Gave a powerful testimony too about how it was 50 of them and 48 of them have passed. One still in prison doing a life sentence.
Yeah.
He the only one out sharing the word of God.
Well, that's like Johnny, the gentleman you're talking to right now is 85, and he's been running
Oh
things.
wow, he don't sound like it.
Oh yeah, he don't even look like it. He looks like he's 65. Yeah, he works out.
He sounds like he's 35.
Yeah, well, believe me, he didn't lose any of his charisma or anything. He's the Italian stallion around Vegas. But,
Wow.
but,
Well, maybe I'll be with Mr. Johnny when I come back to Vegas and maybe give me a plan on how I can get rid of my past.
Yeah, baby, yeah, I'll be more than glad to.
Oh, God, thank you.
all right, so, thank you, Miss Arkansas. Thank you for calling today. I am anxious.
Ask me where I'm going to be.
I'm anxious to hear your comedy. Where's your next show at anyway?
Actually, I like playing as God say the thing because we don't never know what's going to happen. But if he agreed, I would be in Shreveport, Louisiana on the 20th this month.
Okay,
I got a headline there.
nice.
And then, if he agreed, I would be back in Vegas September, around the 17th, and I'll stay till I get ready to leave.
Okay.
But I'll come back for my sister's 65th birthday. You met her too. She was sitting there with me, so I'll let you know once my ticket is booked and all that good stuff, and then I'll set something up to, meet with you again.
Definitely. I'd love to, like I said, have you share some laughs with all of us, and then maybe get a little backstory interview with you, talking about how the past was and what led you to where you are today, because it is the things in our past that lead us to where we are today, and it makes us who we are today. So I would love to see that comedy thing. I saw Monique's where it says I could have been your cellmate. I like what you just said. I was your cellmate. So yeah, that would be an interesting prison show, and I definitely think you would be a success because you would be walking the walk and talking the talk that everybody can understand.
You right.
Yep.
Wow.
So remember this, always a knockdown, never a knockout.
And a setback is only a setup for a comeback.
There you go. I hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. I'm gonna grab the next caller on the line, and then
before I go, I want everybody that's listening, if you're not following me, follow me on Instagram at Miss Arkansas Comedy and tell me you heard me on this show, and I'll gladly follow you back.
Thank you, KSHP 107.1 FM. We were live getting the backstory from the comedian known as Miss Arkansas. Miss Arkansas, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.